Watchdog on Wall Street. Mr. Chris Markowski is here, and we're going to be talking a veritable cornucopia of things. And I want to mention this before we kick it off. You have a radio show that you do, a very successful radio show. You'll be doing 5 hours today. I heard you complaining about it. This show feels like about 8.5, so I want you to know that, number one. Number two, though, you not just money that you talk about on the show, other things.
Yes.
And that's what we have that we're talking about here. All right, we had a story about the condoms and the handing out condoms to first graders. You know, and you hear this on paper, you're like, why? But now, I didn't know this, that the Pledge of Allegiance was taken out of the schools altogether, because when I was a kid, I always did the Pledge of Allegiance, and now in Massachusetts, the same area that we had spoken about, there's one student that's trying to bring it back.
We're showing our age, because I asked around here too, and it was like, no, I never said the pledge back in school. And every single morning, I was almost over the announcements, went across the entire school, everybody said it together. I can't believe this.
You know, and you, they would pick a student every once in a while to go up there and do that. And I do remember, because of religious reasons, there were some that did not say the Pledge of Allegiance, which I can understand. It's a religious belief, and we have that right. But how can we teach civics, and how can we teach American history with the absence of making a pledge to the United States saying that, you know, pretty much what we believe in?
Actually, I'm writing a column about this right now because remember that whole Alvin Green situation there in South Carolina, and people voting for him because he was Lou, you know, Al Green, the singer.
Yeah, have you heard the story? The guy in the interviews, have you heard the guy in the interview? He's like, it takes 10 minutes to answer a question.
Well, I mean, this is just an idea. You know, I value this country. In old republics, whether it be Athens and Rome, they always valued citizenship. I think everyone, you get close to graduating from high school, you should have to take the citizenship test, just like a new citizen should have to do. And then if you pass it, then you can vote. If you don't pass it, you shouldn't be able to vote.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, we think of our freedom much like we think that about a driver's license, or the other way around, because we think, well, we can just get it.
Yeah.
And I think along your lines kind of says, hey, we proved that we will believe this, but some saying that might take away our freedoms. You know, our rights.
Once again, I think that, you know, we're so lucky, and people died, and, you know, I just think that it's something that we need to go back and revalue once again.
All right, agree or disagree? Is it taking away your freedom of religion or even thought? Let us know. DailyBuzzNow.com.
All things financial. Of course, we had to call in our watchdog on Wall Street. He's in the house. Chris Markowski joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Key. How are you?
I am awesome. Thanks for coming in. Let's talk this House financial reform bill just approved last night. Your thoughts on it?
Well, I didn't get a chance to go through the full 2,000 pages
yet. Come on, Chris, you haven't been doing anything else this morning.
It's a bit extensive, but there's some good things in this bill. There's some good consumer protections in here. Some of the things in regards to just warning consumers in regards to credit cards and some of the stuff that's coming out there. Some crackdowns on those payday loan places, which they make my head want to explode. I mean, they charge higher rates than the Sopranos would charge. But there's also some other things that are not in there that really bother me. And the fact that we really didn't deal with Fannie and Freddie.
Right, and then there's no reform on auto loans either, right?
To some degree. That's not like they can take over a auto loan company. They put together basically this idea where if the government feels, they put a panel together, if they feel that a financial, a bank or some sort of financial thing, it could go or be some sort of systemic risk, they could step in and they could seize it and take it over. Problems with that, because this is the government, they missed all the last stuff, and it's the same regulators, the SEC, the Treasury, so who knows if they can go about doing that. I'm not a big fan of that. I think the consumer protections are good, though.
Okay, let's go on to Oprah and the Forbes Top 100 Celebrities list that's just released this week. Oprah tops the list, excuse me. Beyonce's number 2. She beats Jay-Z, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. Avatar man James Cameron came in 3rd. Lady Gaga is 4th, and Tiger Woods actually made 5th. Going back to Oprah, last week was her lowest week in ratings in the 24-year history of her show. Why do you think she's still, though, on the top of the Forbes list if her ratings are going down?
Let's just say Oprah's portfolio is diversified like everyone should. It's not just a television show. Yeah. She's got her hands, she's got her magazine, she's got her network, she's got her hands, her production companies, all the things she does. And you know what? She's very conscious about costs. I was just learning something about it. She does all her remote interviews now, rather than using satellites, via Skype.
Skype is free.
Smart.
I know.
She's
she
a
is
smart
amazing.
person, and that's why she's number 1.
Your girlfriend Lady Gaga made the list.
Girlfriend.
Chris loves Lady Gaga.
We talked about it last week. We said I was right. We should buy stock in Lady Gaga. We do all right.
She is. She's number 4. But do you think, you know, with all that overexposure and all her latest antics or whatnot, she deserves to be there? Well, I guess when you look at the numbers, yeah.
The numbers are there. what's going to be the key is whether or not she's going to be able to reinvent herself once again, like Madonna's been able to do throughout the years. You know, doesn't Madonna have an English accent now or something like that?
Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart from Twilight also made the list. And speaking of Twilight, $30 million from the midnight showings only yesterday. Are you a Twihard?
No, I'm a True Blood guy.
True Blood. Okay. Are you surprised though that this series is still, you know, bringing in this money?
Never underestimate the power of the teenagers and follow that stuff.
Of vampires. You know what, though, man? I don't think it's all teenagers. There's so many moms.
Cougars, too, right?
Well, I don't call them cougars. They're wise women. How's that? Wiser women. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. And more from Chris all morning long. When we come back, we're talking about this very latest on this Joran Vandersloot case. Yes, some U.S. charges are now in the play. And the school that was issuing condoms has a change of heart.